so...
slowly. Oh,
It's okay, it's okay.
take your time, chill. Welcome. So it's very nice to meet you guys. My name is Shappi.
And I'm Kanto.
And we together come from Poland, so a bit far from you guys, but we hope to bring a new perspective since we have seen a bit competitions, in our home country. I have been traveling a bit, so I also seen competitions around. And both of us, we've been both judges and competitors, and also I'm organizing competitions in Poland. So we try to put all the points we have learned through the years, how to compete.
Years and years. We're old.
Oh, excuse you? I feel wonderful. So, that's me. And I'm doing stuff like this for 14 years, so that's a long time. Yeah, I'm old. He's right. And overall, I would just like to be part of the community and just create stuff and give back to community. So that's why we are creating presentations like this. And that's Janek.
Okay, so that's me. Actually, I've been in this amazing hobby for like 8 years. Even more, but like my first cosplay was from Gravity Falls and it was super bad, so we're not counting that.
It was so cute.
But actually, except for that, I'm judged and contesting many cosplay competitions. I'm also a social media specialist, so I'm using like my knowledge from social media marketing to use on actually cosplay. I'm actually holding panels about making social media as an artist, so that's pretty cool. And also, I'm the owner of the cosplay exhibition about League of Legends. It's like a cool thing in Poland.
It's called Project League.
Yeah, we're like visiting different conventions around the Poland, and I hope in near future around the world.
Yeah, maybe Baltic soon, so maybe you guys will be able to see us.
So we're actually trying to, like Shappi already said, do something more than just cosplays.
Yeah, because I mean, after so many years, I believe you guys know it's just boring to just be a contestant or just walk around conventions, so we try to do something more. Okay, but let's go to the subject. And maybe the first question I think you guys could ask yourselves, which contest you should pick, because there's so many. I believe in Finland you have at least 10 conventions per year, or less or more. 10 only? 12, 20, 30?
A lot of
Oh,
them.
wow, okay, that's a lot.
And on each convention there's a lot of competitions, like here there's like 9 competitions, right? I've heard?
Yeah, you're crazy. 9 competitions at one convention? You need some...
It's the biggest event in the whole of Finland, so...
You need Jesus.
The other ones are not as big as...
Oh my god.
But still, it's like 9 competitions on one event.
Even the biggest one in Poland has 3?
Yeah, so that's
all we have.
So we decided that it's a pretty good thing to talk about,
Yes.
like
how to choose the contest for your skill level and what do you actually want to achieve, because there's so many stuff you can get from the competitions. And I believe we'll start with the small local cons. I wouldn't say it's, of course, it's not this convention. This will go to the biggest one, but maybe you have some ideas which will be the smallest con in Finland you can guys recommend to the beginners. Do you have an idea? You can help us with some names.
It also depends on where you live.
Oh no.
Because there are like really small, like one-day conventions all around.
Oh, okay.
They're like held in libraries or
Oh,
something
but
like that.
Yeah, we also have those in Poland. I think it's a cool way to start, especially if somebody is stressed about cosplay competition. It's a good way to start in a like smaller group of people, because usually all of the contestants there are like newer beginners cosplayers, so it's a good way to start.
There's a less chance they will actually counter someone who is like super experienced and come in, in a huge Gundam costume. Oh, it would be so sad. So it's really just good to start with something small, because also the level will be less challenging, and there will be less people. So for example, if you're stressed of your competition, or you're stressed of going in the public places and show your costumes, I think that would be a good way to start. Would you agree? Do you want to add something?
I think it's about it. Like I said, especially for example, when I started cosplaying, for me the hardest part was the
stage fright?
Stage
fright.
So
oh, okay.
For me, like small conventions is the way to like start and feel better about myself on stage. So I think that for people that are mostly scared of that, which is a lot of them, I've heard from my experience, it's a good way to start.
I have some tips about that in the future panel, slides. So maybe you guys will get some tips how to work on your stage fright. The big conventions are at least the biggest ones, in the country. Like here today, there will be actually the biggest one. You have the highest of those, levels. But still, I think it's worth giving a try after you tried a bit of those smaller cons, because this gives you an advantage and a chance to just grow up, you know, evaluate your skills. You don't really stay at the same level for the whole time. The more experienced cosplayers you meet as your contestants, contestants, it's better for you to just, you know, follow them and try to catch up to their level. So I think it's really motivating to try this as well.
So it's okay to someone start from the like bigger conventions without going to the smaller ones, because like Ola said, it's like it's a way to like see
To catch up.
to catch up with others. So I think that there is
If you know, if not placing discourages you, I would suggest going to the smaller ones. But I don't think, you know, not placing is a bad thing. It's actually a very good motivation, at least for me, to work harder and do better.
I think that when you start your cosplay career as a contestant, you have to like come with the idea of going to the cosplay competition to learn something, not to win, and it actually helps.
Yes.
So you just think about learning and meeting other people, not about winning, and it helps you to like feel better about the whole contest.
Yeah. And of course, if you are the person who you know, just did everything they could in your country, and you feel like this thrill of going to the best ones, I would suggest going to the international one, such as WCS in Japan, which we held today, and Nordic NCC, which also be the eliminations will be held today at the convention. I believe it's one of the best experiences to go to different country and, you know, represent your country, because not only you have, you know, you meet so many great people from all other, you know, places around Europe or the world in the World Cosplay Summit, but you also can see how the different countries cosplay. It's so different because, you know, when you come to different country and see the way people cosplay, it's so different. For example, even from Poland and Finland, we have so many differences. The levels you guys hold, the craftsmanship you guys go into more, is so different than in different countries. So it's really fun to just learn and maybe steal some ideas from here and there and see what you can improve for the future. For example, like for me, when I'm a judge at the different competitions around the world, I love the judging room around because I can see the costumes up close and learn so many new techniques from them. Love it. My favorite stuff. So I think it would be good for you to also.
It's actually right now thanks to the internet, and we can learn a lot from each other via internet. Back in the days, it was harder to find the tutorials. Right now it's there, but still, like meeting you guys on this event was like an amazing experience.
Yeah, just
also
go see scenes and ask.
Yeah, it was amazing, and actually, I learned a lot during the judge run. So
nice. Okay, cool. And the prizes are great because prizes. I mean, going to the convention, for example, in Japan, it's a prize itself, I believe, because you can also stay there for a few extra days. So it's a really good stuff to go. And sometimes there's a money prizes sometimes of the competitions, like I believe EC, Euro Cosplay had it. Now it's Crown Championship, Chicago thingy in London, goes to New York, right? Yeah. So, okay. So let's see further. Oh, that's yours.
Okay, so when you want to apply for the competition, there are a few things you need to think about, because sometimes I just know that when I was, for example, having my friend with accepting the applications, sometimes people are already screwed over because they didn't read the rules, because sometimes there are rules that specify about, for example, how old the cosplay can be to take part in the competition, or how big percentage of the cosplay should have been made by the cosplayer. So there's the things that you should read about the competition before going. So that's why we have rules, and rules are important. I know that it's boring to read them, but it actually helps a lot. It also really helps you with understanding of the competition that you're applying for. For example, how the judging looks. If it's like, for example, 50-50 for performance in the cosplay, or only cosplay, only performance. So that's why we should read those, because sometimes people just do not care about the performance part, because they think that only cosplay is like the costume is the only important part, and they did go to the stage if they are shocked they should have prepared something for that. Another thing is, does my costume fit this contest categories? So, like we've talked about it before, you have to think about what cosplay should I bring to the competition. It depends, like for example, if the category, for example, Ola is holding cosplay contest that has categories only from sewn costumes, so that's why you should read the rules, because it may like help you to choose which cosplay should you take.
And also sometimes the original characters probably, I have seen a few of those in the corridors, they also have a specific contest, at least in Poland, I don't know about
Here
Finland.
also, I
They
think.
do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
On this convention there is
Oh
also
yeah, you mentioned. Okay, so the original characters have also their own contest. So we have to, think which cosplay should go to the which category.
Because it's also the fact with OC characters, there's like, for example, sometimes fan arts do not apply for a reference photo, so we have to check if your cosplay based on a fan art from different series is okay to be
As a cosplay.
Not an OC. Because for example, in many contests, like the fan art from the internet is still considered to be an OC rather than a typical cosplay. Especially for like international.
Yes, especially the international contests. For example, the only one for ICL, the Spanish one, just an example, the only one allowed are the one from Sakizo, I believe, and Hannah Alexander. So if you've seen those arts, you know that's just one of those most popular
so that's why it's very important with the rules, because you have specified artists that you can only use as a reference photo, except for like the popular series. Do I have good reference materials? Okay, so that's also very important, because as a judge, we cannot judge your costume without a good reference photo, because this is the way we mostly look at your costumes. So that is why you should, considering choosing the character, you should make sure that there is a reference photo for your characters. For example, there's not only like halfway.
Or half body. It would be nice to have a full body, especially from the back. So many characters are based only on the one art, which sucks so much. So if it's possible to find maybe a figurine of your character, or maybe a 3D model if the character is from the game, it would be wonderful to make a turnaround and see the back details.
So sometimes it's just said as a judge that you know that, for example, one of the costumes cannot win because there is no good reference for them. They're just like scratched at the beginning because we cannot like. It's not fair to judge them like the others when we cannot see half of the costume, how it's done, and someone just could made it up. So that is why reference photos are the most important ones. And sometimes people have good reference photos on the internet, but they just send a random one, and then we cannot like look for the better reference photos. We can only judge them by what they gave us. So that's important to really sit on that and think about that. For example, there's one more thing. For example, in League of Legends, does any one of you play League of Legends?
I think I see.
Okay, so there's difference between the model of the characters and the splash arts. And sometimes people give both of those, and we cannot choose which one we're preferring. You have to like make sure to tell us which parts of the cosplay are from which.
Because sometimes they're so different.
Yeah, they're sometimes extremely different. So that is why you have to make sure to give us a good reference photo, not like put them two together like, yeah, some of this, some of this, some of this. Make sure to like give us a good reference photo to make us know how to judge you. Because if there is missing part, for example, on the splash art and the model, we will have to like take it as a bad thing. And let's sign in. So in the end of the day, like don't be scared. Don't be scared to try. There's nothing wrong with sometimes
being not included.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how about Finland does it, but sometimes in Poland we have over 100 applications for one contest, and we just have to cut the number down because it wouldn't be possible to host everyone on the stage because of the time limits. So if you're not chosen, it's not because your costume is bad, we just don't have space for everyone.
It's like pre-elimination connected with just sending the applications. Sometimes it just happens. Yeah. So that is why, like, don't be scared to try, but first of all, like, think about all those things, because you can't even imagine how many times the problem with reference photo cut off someone's like cosplay from the contest.
True.
Like, for example, one time I remember we had someone who could possibly have been a winner, but we had such a bad reference photo that we couldn't even like judge it in a good way.
Okay, let's go further. But how do we do it? Oh, yes, of course.
Just a question that in Finland there are different ways for applying.
Oh, really?
Competition. Like for the WBCS, they usually have to make a portfolio.
Oh, okay.
And based on that, they are chosen to compete. But also, one competition is like you tally your like experience in competitions and get points.
Oh.
And the ones who have the most points get to participate. These are like the high-level competition in Finland.
Is it bad that you have more contests in your portfolio, or is it better when you have more experience?
It depends because it's only one competition. It's like the Finnish championships that use the point system.
Okay.
And there's like if you have taken part in a competition, that's 1 point. If you have won a competition, it's this and that
Oh,
point.
so you have more points or for competing and getting prizes.
Yes, and also if
So
you
cool.
have won a competition that is higher level, you get more points from that, and the maximum is like you can enter 10 competitions, because for some people they have been in countless competitions.
Per
so
year?
They can pick like the best ones to get the best score.
Okay. Is it per year or only per a whole lifetime?
Per
or
year.
not?
Lifetime.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's
But yeah, the maximum
cool.
points are, I think, 50, because the maximum, if you have won an international preliminaries for some, you get the 5 points. And if you have done that 10 times, that's 50 points.
That's
and that's the maximum
crazy.
you can
It's
like
like-
enter.
For example, usually when it comes to Polish conventions and contests, people send us like with the reference photo, the character they've chosen, and the progress pictures.
Yeah.
And the progress pictures are the ones that the most important for us, because
Yeah.
this is the way we can choose the competitors for the finals, because you can see like the level of the craftsmanship.
Usually the organizers are cosplayers themselves when we get the progress pictures. For example, like for me, I always get them. And so I can see from the progress if the level is high enough for the contest to be allowed then and stuff. So that's how we
Like,
do
because
this.
sometimes there's just too many
Good
clients, so
yeah.
we have to do it that way.
Yes?
For ECG, this year,
Yeah.
when I applied it, like now they actually added that we have time, I think the deadline that we have to send in portfolio that will show us the progress of the costume.
Okay. It's like a books, those cosplay books.
And they would like, if you haven't made enough of the costume, they would just like cut you out.
Really?
Yeah, because there has been, I think, issues with because people canceling.
Okay.
So I think they were trying to like see that people have actually made the progress of the costume.
Okay, so
But, like,
how many?
First time they actually tried it.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it was interesting,
So
crashing the
how many?
cosplay a few months
It's like
before.
80% of the costume, for example, should have been done. Or?
I think about like maybe they didn't tell us the
Okay.
percentage, but I think like I tried to make my costume about 50.
Okay,
Okay.
15.
And I was dying for 2 weeks before the presentation.
Okay, but
this
that
is
sometimes
true.
also happens. For example, the mascarada, for example, you
Yeah.
also have to like, I think there was 60% of the costume have to be like done to apply. It's like a month before the convention that the appliance will be cut off, so it's still a month to finish. So
There will be stress as an organizer because I don't know how about you guys in Finland, but we don't have that many competitors, especially for groups, to go for the international. So if we cut even more of them, who would compete?
No.
That would be scary. So interesting point. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. If you want to, of course, tell us stuff like this, please do, because we don't have information about everything.
and the differences between the countries, so that is good to know. Because, like for example, the contest about the points, I've never heard about
Yes.
this type of a competition.
It's fun actually. I have to know it. But yeah, let me show like the basic, the most basic application for Polish competitions at least. I changed it a bit for my competitions, so it's more like less email and more just like a Google Sheet file, so you can get the information more easily. But overall, the important stuff would be, as we mentioned, reference picture. So from all the sites.
It's a good way to show the perfect reference picture here,
Yeah.
because we can actually see all of the sites.
God bless Zelda. God bless Zelda. And art books, oh my god, I love them. So you can see all those small details. And also, when you're sending your application, I don't know, again, not sure about Finland. In Poland, the technical guys, they do take your info about light, about the stage props, about what you're going to do on the stage, the scenario, really into consideration. So you can send them the timestamps and what's supposed to be on stage. So for example, you want the dramatic light, you can tell them, oh, I want this red light in this second. Of course, not everything can be done because there's so many people who want these special times, but overall the mood can be understood by the guys and they can give you the better lights and better understanding of the stage. Also, when you're sending your applications, please put all the files, really, because so many people forget them. Of course, if you can give them information, for example, oh, I'm rendering my video, it's taking ages because my PC is made of cardboard, please give me one more day to send the video. Of course, we are all people, we understand that. But if you forget to add something, you might be just cut out of the competition if it's like the time is really tight. So yeah, make sure to send stuff good.
Especially that cosplayers love to apply for the competition the last possible
Oh my
second.
god, yes. Is it the same in Finland?
I just love the fact that Shappi can get like 20 people to get to the competition like 10 minutes before the closing, like 100 more. Like last 10 minutes, like it's wild.
Yeah, I just sent like those if someone sends me the application, the last one, for example, 000, because we ended at midnight, I just send them like a honorary dick picture, like the internet, like, you know, graphic kawaii dick picture, like for the last person to send me the application. Like, you should be ashamed. So they get that, yeah. But yeah, if you can, of course, if you can send it earlier, please do, because it will be so much better for us. But understand the cosplay takes time, and we crunch, and we just die there making costumes. So we understand that. That's fine. That's fine. But still, sucks to be, you know.
Also, if you just send the application, sometimes it's just okay to write after. Sometimes, for example, to change a little bit, for example.
Yeah,
the music, there won't be a problem to change the music after.
Just a file, yeah.
Just to make sure that you are registered and you are like in the line. So.
I mean, we spoil Polish cosplayers. We accept the changes even on Friday before the con. Yep.
So like when you upload, you need to like send the timestamp and then music for it?
Yes.
Yeah, because
For stage performance. You don't?
No, we usually like first apply,
Uh-huh.
and then we get the deadlines, and we need to fill for the deadlines. We need to like get the timestamps and send it to like the audio or the video
Okay.
using that, and like very detailed like lights and stuff.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
But do you
usually like few months, 1 month before.
but do you give them like a scenario of your skit, or
We
there's
give,
nothing?
Like the basic like the storyline
Okay.
and
Okay.
what's gonna happen in it, like the we can describe in the description.
That's good.
But yeah, then we're gonna get more detail.
Okay.
Like version later.
Because
That's interesting point of view actually.
if we know that like the performance is also judged, we know that we should choose people that actually prepared something for the competition. That's also the way we can choose them. So having that, it's easier to think about if they're actually going to do well in the competition because they prepared for the being judged for the performance.
So I have to admit, 1 second, I have to admit that sometimes cosplayers, especially the younger ones in Poland, they love doing very inappropriate jokes, which sometimes cannot be let out. So if I see a scenario or a MP3 file with, you know, something I hear, I can always tell them, guys, please change this, because we will be kicked out of the stage. So that's how we check if it's okay to let them in. But please.
No, you were mentioning that it's happening like the applications coming like a month before competition, or was it like, because I feel like for us there is much more time, so
Yeah.
that's why we're like we're first getting accepted, okay, and then we start
Okay,
working.
okay.
There's
Yeah.
for us it's much more calm.
I see.
Like example, I applied for the championship
Yep.
and I got in, and my deadline is in the I think first day of the like November, I think.
Wow,
No,
okay.
for us, like a month before the convention.
I have like time.
2
I
months.
have like different deadlines and different like going closer to
Okay.
competition.
So it's a different way to approach this.
Yes.
Okay, I prefer more stuff at the same time, so month maybe, so I have everything on the one moment, than just, if it's like to spread it out, I feel like people can just cancel me and just waste my time when I take an application, fill it in and stuff, so.
If someone is sure the month before and already prepared all of that, you're pretty sure that they're going.
You're going to compete.
Yeah, they're going to compete. Maybe they will get sick, but other than that, they
Unless
usually
they
come.
crash to death.
But it also, if you have, you said you have like 100 applications, then there is like, if you take only 10, for example,
Yeah.
then there is 90 people who pretty much prepared for nothing.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's kind of, I don't know.
Actually, the good part about in Poland we have so many cosplay. Like each weekend we have like 3 different conventions.
So if you
So
don't,
there's like tons of them that you can
Yeah.
apply for. Obviously, there are the smaller ones. For example, we host a lot of convention in schools. So like in middle school buildings. So they're like the smaller ones for like 2,000 people.
it's
so-
crazy.
So like the smaller ones are obviously like the super small in galleries.
Yes.
For example,
Shopping
like
malls.
for like there's like 200 people at the
Yeah.
event in the gallery. But usually there's so many different competitions you can take part in that it's like okay, there is like no one being super.
You can always go to the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the one with the 100 one actually is it was so weird. This year was crazy for me. I never expected so many applications. So I have to change next year to make the contest in a few more blocks so I can accept more people. Just overall, it was unacceptable to have so many people. I'm so surprised. Hello, welcome. Please join us. Hello.
Okay, so I have a small tech talk about being actually a good contestant because, as you may guess, there is a lot of drama connected with like cosplay competitions always. So I think that there are a few things that you should think about the thing we talked about before is that coming to the competition, you should not only focus on winning, you should think about the other parts of the competition. For example, making friends, having fun, like learning something, because then you wouldn't be considered to be a rude person there. Because sometimes people come with an attitude and no one wants to talk with them because it's too good for them. So yeah, we don't do that, especially they usually get mad after not winning, so we don't want that because people then don't want to work with you actually.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, cosplay community is a small circle. We know most of the people. So if you get like this fame for being a difficult person to work with, there's a chance people won't be able. They don't want to, accept you and stuff. Maybe some like groups or stuff, duos. So I think it's better to just be a little bit more chill.
Yeah, just the attitude of like, it's not like a world championship, like the
We're
biggest important thing
weird
in life.
people in weird wigs, in costumes, in foam.
It's not that important, like chill, it's just a cosplay competition. So that's the attitude we want. Obviously, you need to be prepared and like, obviously everyone wants to win, but just think about it like in a different way. Just came here to get some knowledge and be a better person. Okay, so when it comes to be a good competitor, be on time, that's very important. We don't want people to be late for basically everything. For example, the jury round. Sometimes people are not ready with their cosplays on the jury round. For example, the makeup, they didn't get ready. It's okay because they still can get like switching places. For example, someone can get before them, but after, for example, if everyone went and someone is still not ready, we cannot do anything about it. You will go unready. So make sure to be on time. But it also applies to everything else, because for jury round it's okay to like switch places, but for the competition it may be harder because the whole production is ready for your performance and they won't be like changing anything just for you. So make sure to be on time so people won't be waiting for you. It's like, it's not only you that will wait, you have to, all of the people will have to change, and that's not cool.
It's a problem for everyone around involved.
And this is also what we're talking about, being contacted if anything happens. Ghosting is bad. It's about the cosplay competition applying. For example, if you applied for the competition and know that something went wrong and you could not come, just say that.
Let us know, because it's nothing but being sick. Your hamster is sick, your grandma is, anything is fine. Just let us know.
Especially if you know, like, before the convention, we can still like let in someone else to compete.
Especially when you have so many contestants, if you cannot come and make it, just let someone else take your place. Really.
So, like, don't take your place and then do not come. It's just not cool. Just if anything happens, for example, the day of the convention, everyone will know. Just let us know so you won't be stressed about that. It's not helpful for the organizers because they will think about that all the time. Not qualifying is not a reason for drama. So, like I said, in Poland, there is many times that there's too many competitors for the competition, because it won't be possible to have the competition for that many people. So it's not bad. If you didn't get in, it's okay. There's so many different competitions you can try. It's also a way to know that you can like work more on the costume. So
and apply next year and be even better,
So
really.
it's not the end of the world. You didn't get in, it's okay. You can try on a different innovation, or you can try next year. It's okay. Nothing happened.
Okay. Any questions? Any thoughts? No? Judging. Okay. So I saw some hands going up for being a judge, and I believe you guys know how really hard job it is. Because not only you have to spend so much time, reading the files, looking at the costumes, discussing, sometimes the discussions are really hard when you have so many judges who look at different pieces of costume and have different thoughts. Really, the conversation can be very heated. Like, example, last month we had a competition which was picking the representatives for Poland for international competition, and we had three judges of guys, this they included, and they were actually fighting. Of course, not maybe like no fists were fighting, but I was sitting there, like, what the heck is going on?
So we spent an hour choosing the winner. After the competition, they had to wait an hour for us to choose, because for us it was so important to choose the right person, because the level was so high and we couldn't make up our decision between two people, because we wanted to be fair to all of them. So sometimes, because you just feel the pressure that your decision is actually very important to them. So you just want to be fair with them. So that's why.
So if you have like those gossips, sometimes at least in our community, so there's a gossip. Oh, she's a friend of this person. She knew this person for sure. She was paid to give this result. Never.
It's also kind of connected with what we talked about before. this is such a small community that
everyone knows
if you attend
everyone.
the competitions, everyone knows each
Yeah.
other. So there is no way to not know the
Mhm.
judges because you already compete with them like many times before. So usually most of the people that take part in the competition already know each other.
Yeah.
There are always some new faces, obviously, but usually they're still getting
Yeah.
into the.
But the judges are picked for a reason, so there's nothing like, people just being from the street. We know actually our stuff, so if they are picked, probably they're going to be fair, they're going to be people who look at the stuff who's being brought to us, we're not going to take any sides, so I would really trust the judges. All the time I have been judging competitions, it will be like 10 years now, or at least something like this, I would always see people who really did their job well. No money was included,
Also
even
the-
though sweet was included or something.
The very important part about judging is also giving the feedback.
Oh yes,
Because
oh yes.
usually the contestants after the
Yeah.
competition want to know what they can improve.
Mhm.
So that's also the hard part of being the judge, because you need
Yes.
to be able to give a good feedback, not
Yeah.
only like judge their
Imagine-
costume, but also know how to tell them how they can improve.
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 So
So it's really important. So after competition, if you place, or even if you didn't place, or even if you placed, personally, I love when people who placed on the competitions come back and ask for feedback anyway. It's so nice. It's amazing. So if you can, please come and ask about the competition, ask about the results, because you can get so much good feedback, which can get your costume even on a higher level. Yeah. Whee, what else? You like? Super. Judges round.
okay, so when it comes to judges round, from my perspective, when I started, it was super stressful because I always was super like, I was thinking about what to say, blah 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 blah. So then I decided that good thing to do before the jury round is to prepare in your mind what to say, what to think about. Do not forget about the most important parts. I usually go from up to down, and it's always you won't miss anything.
You can also
That's
make
a good way to do.
Sorry, you can also make a small notes. I have
Yeah.
so many people who come with a small notebook and they have like a points to say.
Because usually when you're stressed, you forget about some stuff, and sometimes they can be like changing for the whole competition. So make sure to like prepare everything you want to say, because we cannot see everything. For example, if you have some under layers that you made yourself,
Yeah.
that you want to talk about, you should like let us know, because we don't want to like touch it that much.
This
So just make sure to prepare what you want to say, because it really helps you a lot, especially with the stress.
And
'Cause you
on the
can-
other hand, prepare what you don't want to say.
Okay, so the thing that I always says after the competition, do not say what's
Wrong?
'Cause
Never do
usually
that.
people when they stress, like, oh yeah, it didn't work out. Yeah, here is some shitty stuff. No, let's pretend that it doesn't exist. Maybe the jury won't see it.
I mean, they will. They will.
They will, but just
But you will make it worse by pointing on the bad side. Because it's basic psychology. If you point on the stuff which is not good enough, people will remember this. If you just avoid the subject or just, oh, this is the stuff I've made, people might not value it as much as the good parts.
just focus on the good,
Yeah.
because this is the worst thing you can do, is like starting pointing out the things that didn't work out.
Sabotaging yourself.
Yeah, so don't do that. Only think about the good things and talk about the good parts and what you're proud of. So first thing, prepare what you want to say, then only talk about the good things, and
I would always mention what is really outstanding piece of a costume. For example, if something may be not really important to you because you have been hand sewing for ages, or maybe you have embroidery for ages, but you should mention it because for a judge, it could be a really impressive piece, especially if they're not from your country. Like, for me, the sewing, you guys shown us on WCS. In Poland, we don't really sew that much. We go into props more. So to me, to see such a high level of craftsmanship with seamstress, do sewing, I was stunned. So
I have one more thing to say when it comes to this. So I've learned that, for example, for NCC, it wasn't obligated to send progress photos, but they actually kind of good to have when it comes to jury round, because we can actually see the process that went into crafting some of the details. So even if if you're not obligated to send them, it's actually good for the judges to see them, because it only can help you.
and also can stop some gossips about costume which could be bought, If your costume is so good that people think your costume is from the store, you can always show them your progress pictures.
So make sure, even if it's not obligated, you're not obligated to send them, you can still attach them. So it's easier for us to see the process that went
Take the
into creating
pictures.
some of the made. And also it's like we're sure that you actually made that cosplay.
Yes, yes, it's important. Okay, let's go. Rehearsals. It's also very important. Wanna go for this
So
one?
actually, I think we're both kind of. So for me, I love to perform on the scene. So it's very important to make sure that everything goes right when it comes to the competition, because we actually will be able to see what went wrong. So make sure to attend the rehearsal. I don't know, for example, in Poland,
Do
there's
you guys
always
have
a
this?
rehearsal before
You
the
do?
competition.
Great, great.
So yeah, they're not obligatory, I think.
But
Very
we really do it. Do it because it
in
helps
Poland they're
so
not
much.
obligatory. You can go for
Yeah.
rehearsal, but you don't have to. But it's good to go because even though you practice at home, it doesn't always apply to
Yeah.
the stage because it's always a different size. There's different light. For example, I remember once when I was at a competition, there was a light coming from like the front, and I didn't see shit.
You're blinded,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I was blind for the whole
Sure.
performance, but I was prepared for that because I went for the rehearsal. So make sure to go there because you can apply actually some changes still before the competition, because you can alter your performance to the stage. So make sure to think about it.
And also you can speak to the guys who are technicians. Yes?
Here in Finland, you have to.
You have to.
Because it's not only training for you.
Yeah.
It's only training, also training for the lights and
Yes.
the sound and the architects.
Yes, yes.
So it's like you have to go there.
I see, I see.
Or you get minus.
I mean, we don't exclude people if they don't come, but I always write in emails, please come, because it's important, it's for you guys.
I don't think nobody even thinks that they're not going. I don't think so.
You
I've
don't?
never heard anybody talking that they don't want to go because
So in Poland,
I
we
need
want to
contest-
go stage and
I need contestants like you in my country. I swear.
in Poland, something like that.
I wanna hang them.
Yeah, I have my free time. So.
the first time is always like we usually have 2 takes,
Oh,
and the first one is always perfect,
yeah.
and the second one usually is better.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the bigger convention in Poland, for example, for Masquerade,
Yeah.
you have obligatory,
Yes.
rehearsal, but for the small ones, it's
It's your choice.
it's your choice to go. But then sometimes, for example, I remember one competition when someone was mad that the decoration were in the place they wanted to be, but they didn't came for the rehearsal.
Yes,
So they didn't tell them where they should be, and they were like, "Oh, my performance didn't go well because they were wrongly put." And that's your fault. You didn't come. You
Yeah.
didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
So make sure. I know that right now I know that in Finland it's common, but for us it's not that common.
You guys are really like years ahead of us.
So make sure to do that, but I don't have you to say that.
Yeah.
still.
Okay, so the stress part, I believe, is one of the most important parts for people who start with stage performances, and I believe you can avoid this. You can avoid this. Everyone is stressed because it's normal for people to be stressed when they come to the spotlight, when you have so many people watching you and possibly judging you when you look your costumes. But I believe with time and performing over, you guys really can get used to that. For example, we are right now in front of you, and believe us, we are making jokes, but it's really stressful because we don't really speak English that much in Poland day, so it's also the language thing. But overall, you just have to do it a few times to get more comfortable with the stage and the public. But also, I'm happy to say I'm actually a major in psychology. So for me, the stress is also a natural behavior from people. And we had some classes, which I could maybe share with you. So the breathing, I know it sounds stupid. Oh, just breathe, you won't stress. It's really good. Like slow breathing and controlling your breath before going on stage saves me so many times. Just take a few, just your posture have to be really strong towards you. The chest goes front, and just take at least 5 really slow breaths in and out. It sounds so silly and so stupid. Oh my, you just have to breathe. It really helps. Just the posture, when you put the less stress on your nerves, on your bones, it really helps you relieve your stress. And also when you think about breathing, you don't think about anything else around you. So you can actually a little bit relax because your mind is focused on one thing, not on everything at once. Yeah, so that's a small thing I can give you guys. What else? Drink water. Sleep
and make
before.
Sure to eat and sleep before.
Yes,
the which we didn't do today, but it's okay.
You should have mentioned that.
No, but
we're not performing.
yeah.
So I know it sounds, of course, silly, and you know, just mommy, cosplay mommy telling you just to eat and sleep, but really do. You're humans. You need the rest. And when the body is rested, the mind is rested, you guys will perform much better. Trust me. And the skit. Skit is so important.
Okay, so I love skits. I love performing. It's like my favorite part of the cosplay competition. So for me, like preparing a good skit is like a thing that, for example, it won't always make you win. Like it can make you lose, but won't make you win sometimes. So just make sure to be prepared, because you can have the best cosplay I have ever seen, but if it's like a 50-50 competition with cosplay and performance, I cannot do anything when the skit was like nothing good. For example, just twirling around the stage.
Twirling around the stage, yeah.
So just make sure to be prepared. There's like this one rule that I always apply to the competition. It's like,
Oh,
like
so you have
make
to
sure to prepare the beginning.
tell a story.
Yeah, like
Don't randomly come on stage and start doing a dance or something. Just take a story, make a small introduction.
it's a skit, it's a performance.
Yeah.
So there is an introduction, there is like the middle part, and then the ending. So make sure to always have those three parts, because you can always tell when it's hard to understand for people. So like it's about the whole like performance. So make sure that there's
Those points.
beginning.
Especially with longer skits such as WCS or ECG, where you have more minutes, just add it. And also, if I could add something, if you have a character, especially from not as known series, so it's not Disney, you know, it's not like super known Marvel characters, try to not make a lore deep skit presentation, because there's a chance people will not know. They don't understand every character. So if you make like a super detailed psychology stuff about this character from this game, you're like,
The first rule about the cosplay presentation is make sure that everyone can understand
understand it.
even if they do not know the series. So when you did that, that's brilliant.
Yeah, just some very easy to understand tropes, you know, like, you know, enemies to lovers, or maybe, you know, like the RPG, LARP
Also,
stories.
The good thing about the cosplay skits is that it doesn't have to always be about the series. For example, I remember that my friend made a cosplay from Castlevania, and the skit wasn't even about like the Castlevania lore. It was just about like some random vampire fighting with
Yeah, just garlic.
with garlic.
So basically just story about vampires.
Yeah,
Every
so
vampire can
you
do
can
it.
have something and make a story about it. It doesn't have to be just about the series.
Yes?
Yeah.
For example, WBCS today, one of the criteria for the point system is accuracy, and it is for the performance and for the costume.
Okay.
So when you're making a skit or performance that doesn't tie to the
Yeah.
source material, you're kind of losing points.
Of course, don't get us wrong. We don't mean you should tell a story about vampires by doing a Barbie. Of course, it's like different stuff, but you don't have to do a very tied to every sentence, every detail in the story performance, because it could be too deep. We mean something like taking one part, like major characteristic of this character, and build the story around it, so it's easier to understand.
Because if you
But
get
if you take it too far,
Yes.
yeah, obviously,
can
but
go
if you get
Yes.
too many inside
Yes.
jokes,
Exactly.
if you get too many inside jokes, the performance, then
Yeah.
no one will understand it, and the performance
Yeah.
won't be like good, because it won't be understood to anyone.
And WCS is very specific contest, to be honest. It is a very specific one.
So like, don't go like we said, so random that Barbie and vampires, but like make sure that it will be understandable to everyone. It doesn't have to be like a perfect lore thing. Just make sure to.
Make it simpler. The simpler, sometimes simplicity is better.
And for the first thing we said about the beginning, middle, and end, I've always applied this to, for example, the idols that take part in competitions, because they usually just go on stage, dance, and leave. And I always tell them, try to like give us some more story to that. So beginning of the performance, then go to the dance somehow from the beginning, and then end with some punchline, for example. So make sure just not to go and dance, because it's not a talent show. It should be connected with the story. The same thing applies to singing. So I love when people sing during the performance, but it's good when it's actually a skit, not just a talent show, but a skit. So make sure that if you have a talent, you can tie it to the performance, but don't make your performance only about your talent.
Yeah.
And one more thing.
Yes.
Okay, people usually forget about the face mimic during the performance because they stress. And we look at that. Also, sometimes it's also
Theatrical
Yeah.
roles.
judges should think about that during the
Yeah.
because sometimes in the rules that we should look at the way people perform
Yeah.
with
yeah.
also their face. So when people are stressed, they forget about face mimic. So you can, for example, tell that they are not getting the character. Also the lip sync. Sometimes when you get the lip sync in your audio and you are not lip syncing, only like playing with your body, it's looking bad. So make sure to also work with your face because it's also very important.
And don't show your back to the
Yeah. and
audience.
work with your back. It's like some of the theatrical things that you should take from that to the
I mean, there's
cosplay
much
space.
more rules like this, but we are not like actors.
Yeah.
From you
But
can
like,
take from
the
this.
judge's perspective, like
Yeah.
it's really important to work with your face during
Okay.
performance. For example, once again, when it comes to the dancing parts, when there are like people dancing on the stage, they usually think about the steps. They forgot about like the face mimic, so they just like forgetting about being actually into the character. So just make sure to think about both the thing you do on stage and face.
Okay, let's go further. So the contest is now over. We finished. We did the deed. We survived. What now? What now? And like, this is your wonderful graphic design is my passion.
Please enjoy the hearts. I work really hard on them, the exact same size.
Handmade our god, you know.
Okay, so first things first, as we said before, congratulate the winners or celebrate yourself.
And don't be a douchebag about it, because some people really like to put in your face
So
their
you have to-
victory.
You have to know how to win and you have to know how to
to
lose.
lose.
Just like I said before, just make sure it's just a cosplay competition. It's not the end of the world. So make sure to be fair with everyone. If someone wins, there's a reason that they
Yes.
won. So make sure to congratulate them because it's always a good thing also from you and they will make you feel better. Also like
If you don't believe it was a right choice for them to win, ask the judges.
yeah, you can always go to the judges and ask them what was the reason, for example. So just don't be a douchebag and just know that
Drama queen.
if you didn't win or win, there is always a reason for that, and you can ask why, and just know how to do it.
Be a good person. Don't be a douchebag. Really, it's really easy.
Like we said, if you have doubts about results, ask judges.
Yes.
They'll always tell you why you didn't win, what you can improve. Also, ask for feedback is the same thing. So judges are here and they have the knowledge to tell you what you can improve in your question because it's always that part that is actually important, also the performance. And you can actually take the feedback and apply it to your, for example, next contest. We actually have one of our ICL representative that had won or second place last year. He went to few conventions, to few competitions, and after each one he got the feedback
Oh,
and
yeah.
he applied it to his costume. And after like few competitions, he finally had a perfect costume, and he actually went to ICL.
And he won second
And
place.
he won second place, so you can do that. You can actually like
Mhm.
apply the feedback, and he did that in actual work for him. Like in each competition gave him some more
Yeah.
things to improve, and he finally was able to
Yeah.
to do that. So
Yeah.
make sure
He was really perfect.
yeah.
He only actually forgot a piece of his costume at home as well.
Yeah. So just make sure actually to apply the feedback if you want to take part in another convention, because usually the judges will find the same thing. So make sure to apply the feedback you've got after the competition.
Okay. And what do we get from competing? Actually, it's the last part of our presentation, so please don't fall asleep. I see you're tired. But so, what do we get from the competition? What do we get from the competing? And friendship. Okay, I know it's rainbows and unicorns, but honestly, like, I met so many great people at the competition backstage. So many of them, like for example, we just met at a convention.
Waiting for the jury round actually helps to make a lot of friends.
Yes, you just speak to each other and just, we're all these weird people covered in foam and wigs, and we are all the same, really. And so many good people we can just, connect with.
And you actually learn a lot from them.
Yes.
So that's why it's so good to actually talk with people, because sometimes people just came for the competition with the mindset of,
Oh my gosh,
for example,
yes.
winning, and they're just closed in a bubble, do not want to talk with anyone. They just came there to win.
They arrive, change, they just go to the judges round and just leave.
And it's okay if someone is stressed, but you can actually miss on a lot of things actually talking with people, because you can learn a lot from them.
So yeah, friendship. How to perform in a crowd. So one of my pictures is actually here in this question. I have a funny story about this, because this one was taken in France in a shopping mall, which had 3 layers of floors, and there was people around us just looking at us. And imagine this, because I was like 22, 23 max. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So if you go through it, you're not afraid of anything. Like you're not afraid of God. I trust me. So after competing and trying your best in every competition, you get used to that, and it's easier. Another example, ECG, the competition in Japan Expo in France, it has such a huge stage that when you go on stage, you don't really see the people because the light is on your face. You only hear them, which is even more scary if you think about that. So after so many competitions, you kind of get this confidence that you can do it. You don't think about this. So if you have a chance to check, different small competitions and level up and go further, just go. Don't be afraid of competing. Go every time. It's really a good learning opportunity. Want to add something?
Yes.
Yes, Slay Queen, yes. Prizes. I know that sometimes the prizes are a thing that lures competitions, lures contestants to the competition, and I cannot blame you. Like, cosplay is an expensive hobby, and we need some funds, extra funds for this foam, for this expensive wig, lace front wig, for this fabrics. So it's
Sometimes
really
you actually get the materials from
yeah,
the competitions.
yeah, like cosplay shops, they give
usually
foams.
cosplay shops, yeah, so
Yeah, we have sewing machines sometimes for competitions for the lower levels to learn. So it's really good. It's really good actually to check that. So I don't blame you. I'm not sure. Do you guys have in Finland like cash prizes or more like what is the prize in Finland? The most? Yeah?
It depends on, sometimes you get like money prizes, or I think one competition had like you get like gift card for Olympics, like
Oh, yeah.
and then other competition you can get like I think gift card for like the cosplay shop.
Okay, so it makes sense to
Or
have
the foam.
the foam, the rolls. Yeah, I mean sometimes it can be annoying, especially if you're flying or taking a train and you have like these foam pieces. Like, oh my god, it should be a talon or voucher, but still, thank you. So.
I think that in Poland we have quite high like money prices a lot of.
Yeah, we do.
competitions.
Highest one I believe was 10,000 zloty.
Yeah.
So about 5,000 euro, 4.5.
Yeah.
It was the highest we ever had, like highest.
So
And people like was running.
but usually it's around like 1,000 zlotys,
Yeah.
like 200 euros for the competition.
200 is like the usual price.
Even on the smaller conventions.
Yes,
So
yes.
so it's
Yeah.
like there is a chance to win something cool, and also like international championships that you can actually win a trip to different countries, which is
Yeah.
super cool.
Or
Can
Saudi.
we apply for always
Please. I would love that. And show them how it's done because I'm gonna kill them someday. I swear.
No, but actually, sometimes we host
Yeah?
like online competitions. For example, there's like the one you got the second
Oh.
place, got the
Yeah?
gamer one. Gamers
Oh,
X.
okay. We have so many gamers, like people who actually.
So you can apply for the internet, and that's all you do.
Yes.
And then you just come to the live stream, and
It's
there is,
wonderful.
Like, it was like, yeah, that was the one that was 10,000 of the cash prize. So
I mean, because the guy was loaded.
okay, so this is a super like super like
Because there's a person in Poland, Polish community of gaming, like streamer and stuff. He really likes cosplay, and so he made like his own competition.
he has lots of money and
Yeah, basically.
he just wants to spend it on some weird stuff. So each year he makes an online cosplay
Yeah.
competition, and there's a lot of money to win. Actually, last year for the people that were watching, 2 of the people who were watching the competition, and it was like 50 people watching it, he paid for the trip to
No, no,
Comic Con London.
yeah. To MCM.
Like full trip paid for the 2 people who just and one each of them get like +1.
International competition allowed. So
So like, you had to just watch the live
Yes,
stream.
you just
So
have to
we
be there.
Also the online competition. So we will let
I mean,
you know.
it's in
if
Polish, so we're very sorry.
there's- Actually, 2 of them were won by.
Last
people
year
from
was a
different
girl
countries.
from Hungary, I believe.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so. Never mind. So I'm just giving different options. So cosplay competition doesn't have to be on stage. It can also be in internet. It can also be like something like sending emails, applications. Just try anything around, and don't be afraid to also go to different country. It's also fun. I believe coming to Sweden maybe or Norway also for you guys possibly is a way to go. I don't know how far it is, and the language is different, so you don't understand them fully. But maybe I think it will be a good choice. Yeah. So just have fun.
Actually, comes to that, there are sometimes people, so before the war started, there were actually a lot of Russian and Ukrainian cosplayers in Polish competitions. So we did that, like going to different countries for the competitions.
Yeah, Baltics, like we have friends who are from Latvia or Estonia coming to Polish competitions, and they won so many times. I was so happy.
Yeah, especially the convention near the borders.
Yes,
So
yes.
actually it happens a lot.
Yeah. Now we have lots of Ukrainian competitions, which is amazing because we really love them in our community. So it's fun. Russians, of course, are not allowed anymore.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Okay, have fun.
Yeah.
And our last thank you so much.
We tried our best to add everything.
I'm
we
very
said.
proud of this one.
Yeah, the moving was personal
Yes.
for you guys.
I hope the bear works because I wasn't sure.
We just did like Finnish memes and this bird came
The bird's
out,
everywhere.
So we hope that it's a Finnish.
I hope that doesn't really something bad.
But it's okay. It's okay. We also have like some other stuff and
Yeah.
ours as a
Never
whole.
mind. Okay, so thank you so much. If you guys have any questions at the moment, we are happy to help. Anything. It doesn't have to be about contest.
Yeah, if you want to ask right now, it's okay. And if you want to ask after we leave, it's also
we're
okay.
around.
Feel too stressed to ask in the
We
public.
are on the first floor. We have a booth, so maybe you can come up
yeah.
and ask. Yes.
I have a question. I want to make cosplay like compete with our costume, but it only has one official art, and it's
Mhm.
like from knees up. So should I just switch to another one, or because that's
Okay, so I think with picking good cosplay for a competition is also very important when it comes to applying. For example, sometimes people pick very simple designs, and even if it's perfectly well made, when there's someone with a more like more explanation design
Harder.
with a harder
More complicated
more
design.
it's like hard to like pick a winner when it also applies to techniques, how many techniques they use. For example, sometimes in the rules there is a point, for example, the fact about how many techniques did the cosplayer use. So also choosing the good cosplay for the competition is very important. So
If you want to choose, especially this one character, I can tell you what I did 2011. I was taking part in scene and I was trying to take a fan art of one of those very little like known games, you know, the card games. And actually I wrote to the creator, the artist who drew the character, and I asked maybe if there's possible some sketches he made before, and actually he gave me his sketches. So I had the back and small details, so it wasn't like super obvious, but it was, of course, in Japanese, like clamp or something, that's, you are screwed by lady. But,
no, it's super shy. So
sorry? Super Jam.
giant, yeah.
Oh, they reply so much.
Yeah.
Like I wrote to them on Twitter for my Artemis cosplay. They
yeah, same with
responded.
my parents
Yes.
from like the
Yes.
Hades, so
Like
they
Hades,
usually
yeah.
like has a lot of designs.
Because it is Artemis.
Is that
Yeah.
Artemis?
Yeah.
I can give you the files if you want.
If you could, it would be amazing.
Yeah, sure. I mean, they're just really easy to, you know, they talk to you about, just on Twitter. Twitter is really good for American guys.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, take it. It's amazing, especially during Eurovision. I love Twitter during Eurovision. It's my happy place. You will love it.
So actually, like writing to the that happens a lot with The Witcher, for example,
Oh,
in
yes.
Poland, because there is not many of the good character design. For example, there is like only like you said, the photo of the like knees up. So you can write to them and they will send you a lot of like
In Gwent,
sketches, for
in the
example.
card game. In Gwent, of course, because they have you have the cards. But in the Witcher community is amazing. I love Sleeper Direct, it's amazing. So just write to them and ask for the 360 turn on the model, they will send it to you. They will, really, they do.
Just contact and
Yeah.
they probably send you something if they create it. So it's way easier.
Anything
And
else?
from Hades especially, there's a lot of those.
Hades too.
Yeah.
So, any other questions? Maybe something about Poland, maybe you want to ask about how salmiaki tastes to Janek.
It was disgusting. I'm sorry. So I thought that I will like it, but why is it salty? I just don't understand. Why is it salty? I had to like.
You should have seen his face. It's like, okay, oh, it's good. Oh, yes. This meme from Vine, you know, that this girl was like eating something like,
Kombucha.
kombucha girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Like it was something. It was an experience.
Yes. Yes.
Not the good one. But I will buy those and give them to all of my friends.
Oh, do this. Prank them.
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
I thought that it was going to be a sweet, like, something like salted caramel. No.
No.
It was like salted
You
without
guys need
anything
Jesus.
good.
this country.
There is a version without the salt.
Oh.
Yeah, but I'm kind of scared to try that.
It's not bad. It's like sweet.
Ah,
It has salt in it.
Actually, the best thing we've tried by far is like the
Reindeer?
Okay, so we tried
Reindeer
reindeer
was really
yesterday.
good.
That was an experience. But we tried the caramel popcorn. It was super
It's
cool.
not really
No,
good.
but whatever. I bought it like a tiger. No, it's something like.
He was really happy to try the salted caramel popcorn stuff because we don't have it. He was obsessed. I had to stop him from eating it.
amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, that was my
Brilliant.
like dinner yesterday. So.
Was it dinner? No,
Yeah.
your breakfast because
Oh,
we
okay.
refused to go to breakfast. Because he was saying this jokes about pie number, until 2 a.m.
But actually, the reindeer quite
Same.
good.
Yeah.
But is like a common thing to eat, or is like a special thing? to
Specialty?
eat, like
Not this part. Northern, they probably like almost every place.
Really?
Schools. Yeah.
In schools?
Yeah, in the northern part.
Yeah. But like,
It's also
no,
quite
here it's not
expensive.
Because
Oh yeah.
I like that I asked and it's like something's going like this and something like this. Like, okay, so what's the answer?
It's a big country. It shows who is from the northern part.
So it's like, because I thought it was like a cow for us, but some people
I
say
don't
like,
think it would be a deer, I think, right? No?
like
Deer?
a chicken.
Definitely not chicken.
It's like a mix between like a deer and a moose. Like I guess that makes sense.
Oh my gosh.
I've never had moose meat. I'm going to add this to my bucket list, so. But it was cool, it was cool.
you can buy moose meat from a basic grocery store.
In Finland?
In Finland?
Yeah, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's also like,
Can I bring it to
there's also
Oh, okay.
restaurants that have actually like their service like moose meat.
Can we bring it to
Like,
Poland?
Finnish.
Is it like legal to take it on the plane or it's like a big no-no? Because I would love to like buy some.
You're the prime, my friend.
Some restaurants also serve bear meat.
I'm leaving this country. They are. You guys gonna eat us.
You can eat bear meat here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have tried.
You can also buy canned bear meat in grocery stores.
Can't.
What the hell?
Going.
Do you guys
That's
have
not
like
normal.
cows or chickens?
Do you have
Or is like, or do they not live here?
Have you heard about cows? Sorry?
We're just special.
You are.
Okay, 'cause I
You
thought
are.
that bears are like the dying species. Like
No.
Bears? No.
some of them for
Maybe
sure.
in Poland, but
Yeah, in Poland, right? So I'm pretty. Wow.
I visited my parents and my father ran out. There are 3 bears behind you, like the house. I'm not going outside the house. So
you have
a lot of-
bears
They're just
around the
wandering around
house.
the forest.
Yeah, we have like camera in the forest, and we have like pictures like the bears.
It's
walking
like
around.
wintry Australia here. when it
We
comes
are
to
not
animals.
in Australia, but without the spiders.
Yeah, they have
Boars.
little bears.
Sorry?
Boars.
Oh yeah, we have those as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were like wandering around the
This
city.
is not came here from like Estonia. It's
Oh
like
my
they're
gosh.
living in-
Wolves, okay. We
Yeah.
also have that. I mean, boars are just like they're sleeping in our trash bins.
Yeah,
Just chilling.
They're like Polish raccoons for us.
That's Slavic core. That's just Slavic core.
So do you have like birds wandering around the city, or they're not coming that far?
They are not allowed. They are removed or moved away. They are not near the city. But
Okay,
if you live in Hamilton, know where you're gonna have
for us, like there's
running around.
yeah.
I mean, they're not allowed, but they have bears that don't understand they're not allowed. So
They're captors and police remove a bear.
there's a bear police. This
That's
country
like
is
another
magical.
level. I love this country.
Oh my god. Okay, so which country is more crazy? This is the last question. More crazy, Sweden, Norway, or Finland? Finland. You guys are like the rednecks of the northern countries.
We just heard that okay, there's a stereotype that Finnish people are super depressing, but it's not true. You're also like
We love your memes. The,
yeah, the memes,
the mummy
dark-
memes.
Yeah, I love them. Especially dark humor here, amazing. But like, yeah, that's what we've heard. Like that's the only stereotype that I've heard about Finland. So, but you
No,
guys are so
no, you
nice.
also heard the song, oh, hello, it's a sauna. Oh, welcome, welcome. It's very happy.
Yeah.
Happy like northerner.
Yeah.
Or was it Swedish people?
It's more Swedish people.
Yeah,
think.
they're very.
We are Slavics. We are like, oh, vodka, yeah. So like being depressive is better, I think, than being alcoholic.
Never mind, because it takes ages. Any last questions before we finish and wrap up? No? Again?
Okay, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure.
It was really nice to have you. And we hope to see you maybe on the competition later, or if you have any questions, like, want to talk to us, first floor near the Tracon booth, we are there.
Yeah, we'll be sitting there whole day until the competition, which is an hour, I guess.
Wow, such a long time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Put the shoes on, maybe.
I did have a question.
Yes.
I was just wanted to ask, when you use like foam,